Hey Earthlings and whatever else you identify as. It's been a while. I'm just popping in basically just to let everyone know that I am okay. I am choosing not to have many personal interactions. I'm choosing not to TikTok a lot. I was pulling myself once again away from my own journey and engaging so heavily in conversations and other people's understanding of things that I was forgetting that I have my own barcode, I have my own personal understanding of things. I find myself sometimes falling into a kind of groupthink thing where I start to put aside things that are coming to myself in preference of sounding and being in a group when that's not me and that's not you. We are individual, we're authentic, we have our own understandings, and now them understandings are all are pieces of a bigger picture. Where people are often found to say, my truth is my truth, but in reality, what you have is a piece of the truth. So your piece looks different to someone else's, so you call it your truth. But if we was to put the pieces together instead of someone judging someone else's piece, saying your piece isn't like mine, so yours is wrong, well, all pieces of a jigsaw puzzle look different. They're shaped different, they've got a different part of the picture on, but when you put them together, the truth emerges, the real picture emerges. And any pieces put in the wrong place won't fit properly and will cause a distortion. And that is what has happened in the spiritual community. We have the outside forces that have infiltrated the spiritual community, and they put wrong pieces in to distort the picture. And what many people in the spiritual community do is pick up the wrong pieces because it looks familiar, there's something familiar about the piece, and they run with that piece, and everyone starts replicating that piece, and that piece can't fit together because it's the same thing being said over and over again. But if you be brave enough to speak on your piece that fits perfectly with your friend's piece and then somebody else's piece and someone across the world has a piece, then we get the true picture. But what we're doing is we're holding that piece of the infiltration pieces, that's the same thing just being said over and over again, and trying to fit it together, and we wonder why everything feels often distorted. You hold your individual energy and your piece is perfect as it is. And when I hand my piece over, and Sharon hands hers over, and Peter hands his over, and Jeremy in Alaska hands his over, and we place it down, we see the picture. See, back in the day when the tribes scattered across the earth, they took the pieces of information with them. Not one ancient civilization has all the answers, but together they have the answers, and that's where we are. They are our ancestors. We are the offspring of them tribes, them ancient civilizations. So within our DNA, within the blood that we carry a drop of blood of every ancestor we've ever had. So within our DNA, we have that information. But when we distract ourselves with these pieces that come from the distractors that are not true, they're not part of the picture, we're doing ourselves a disservice. We're all distorted, and we're giving out distorted information that's not helping. And I've been guilty of that in the past too. I look back and I think that information didn't help, but then in a way it did, because it brought me to this understanding now. So sometimes we have to go through the murky bit of the path to come out into the clearing. So by me saying this, maybe I'll help some of you have a faster journey through the clearing than I did. Maybe I'm shining a torch for you to see how to get out the clearing. Look at your piece, don't judge it just because it doesn't sound like somebody else's piece, just because it doesn't look like it, just because it doesn't feel like it, doesn't mean it's not part of the puzzle. If it doesn't feel right in your hands, of course it may be a distorted piece, and you may need to put that down. And then when you pick up the right piece, you'll buzz and you'll feel it. You'll feel it because that's your peace. You're not trying to hold somebody else's. And that's what happens when we hold on to information that we hear online or in some books that's just regurgitated badly from the ancients. It doesn't feel like our peace, but we run with it. And we wonder why we trip over and we keep dropping it and we have to keep picking it up and putting it back together. And every time we put it back together, it's all wrong and discombobulated. Your peace is your peace. My peace is my peace. But together, it's one whole piece, and that's where the oneness is, in the whole. Oneness doesn't mean we're all the same. It means when we put everything together, we make one. That's my oneness. That's my oneness. I'm not saying that's what the Taoist oneness is or the Buddhist. I'm saying my oneness is I'm an individual, but when we put our individual authenticity together, we create one truth, one picture, one divinity, one light, one understanding. So let's stop arguing about who's right and wrong. Let's put our pieces together and see what amazingness is out there. Nice to see you all again. Sorry for the long video. Namaste.